Welcome back to The Founder. I'm your host, Tasha Sejal. Today we have another interview with us, and I really hope that you are doing good so far. Big shout out going out to all our followers and all the comments. We see you, so thank you very much for the support. And Dilanjan is here with us from the Pettah Effect. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Tasha.
Okay, so tell us a little about yourself.
So I'm from a marketing and advertising background. Currently, I'm working with Theewra and Pettah Effect. Both of them are startups. I'm also a photographer and a filmmaker. So
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us about the Pettah Effect and your company.
Pettah Effect, in its essence, is a record label.
Okay.
We call ourselves a different kind of music company for independent artists. So right now, our focus is working with new artists who are struggling with their music. Mm-hmm. How do we bring them to? How do we give them a platform so that they would hopefully go to the next level of their career?
Okay. Yeah. So how does it really happen? Like, how do you find these artists?
So we do have our audition rounds. Mm-hmm. We publish saying we are doing an audition for a vocalist or an instrumentalist. We have 2 main auditions a year, and we pick out the people we want to work with, who we believe have magic. And then we have a grooming process. Right. We put them through a training process with the musicians, vocal trainings, a whole bunch of things. It's like a small curriculum we've created.
Yeah.
So that'll hopefully help them get to the next level.
That's great, and that's of course something to look for new talent. At the same time, how did this all begin? Like, did you always wanted to have a record label or a record company?
No, so my background is not in music.
Okay.
I'm not a musician myself. I can't sing to save my life. This goes back to 2012, where we founded Theewra. Theewra is a interdisciplinary creative company. We are in advertising. We do productions, video productions, and photo shoots, and the whole 360 of creative things. So the founders of that is Banura, Nuan, Shenali, and I.
Okay.
We were incubating this idea of bringing out a platform because we were working in the digital space. We were looking at YouTube, how people are using YouTube as a platform, and we were thinking, how can we bring a new thing or sort of a content channel to YouTube. So we did a small research for 2 years, looking at what was happening in Colombo and why aren't students from schools who are really great with music coming into the professional music
industry.
So few of the findings were the resource issue was one big one, that no one was there to give them the resources to pursue music as a career. Then the social pressure of music is not really a career.
Yeah.
You find a corporate job and do your music on the side.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then so we were thinking, okay, look, why don't we gather all our resources, which is in production, and find a platform so that we can maybe provide these individuals with this. Then I have a friend called Gamit. I went and spoke to him. Gamit, I have this idea. What can we do? Gamit's from a music background.
Oh, right, okay.
He came on board and he was like, okay, let's do this. And we started volume 1 of Pettah Effect, which was an utter failure, by the way.
Okay.
Just giving resources didn't cut it.
Right.
So the next time around, we re-engineered the process and re-engineered how we should approach this, and now we've sort of figured out a method to the madness.
Right.
So we are struggling but hustling.
Okay. So all of this happened in the period of how long?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So obviously it goes on to show everyone fails before they succeed.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So what has been one of the biggest challenges so far?
Working with people, young people, is the biggest challenge. I feel like nowadays, I'm not that old, but the generation wants quick results.
True.
So and also they give in to social pressure.
Yeah.
Like when your parents come and say, look, music's not something that we are proud of.
Yeah, it's true because especially Sri Lankan parents, we have a certain standard to uphold. You know, you have to bring up your family name and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, music is definitely something that needs to get into their minds a
Yes.
little bit more because it's a good career
Absolutely.
too. Yeah.
And that is the biggest challenge. If there is a support system outside of record labels or from within the community, within your family backgrounds, I think a lot of the talented kids would pursue music as a career.
Okay.
We've seen so many people give up
Yeah.
simply because my mom said not to,
Yeah.
which is sad.
It is. So, you've done this for a span of 2 years, like you said. And,
Yes.
how are operations right now? Like, where do you guys do everything?
We have a studio space
Okay.
for practices and recordings, but now we are in this year, 2020, we are planning on releasing all our originals.
Originals, okay.
So we are working with different producers who have like made great music in the industry. So we are working with Lahiru Pettah on some music for Yohani, then Chanuka, then Chamat, who did Vasti Suduamia recently.
Right, okay.
So these producers have done really great work in
Work,
music.
yes.
So we are collaborating with them to help our musicians as well.
That's really good to know. That's good. Also, of course, starting something, it's never that easy, and there are obstacles that come around. Was financing any difficult for you guys?
Yes, so that is one of the biggest challenges. The resources and even getting from A to B is an expense.
Even the research process is not that easy, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. So Pettah Effect in that sense has been 4 years, but in our operations has been only 2 years.
Yeah.
Luckily, the two directors of Theewra were very open. They are very open-minded. Banura and Shenali agreed to pump out the monetary resources from Theewra so that we will test this.
Okay. So
Pettah
Theewra
Effect.
is basically another independent brand
Yes,
aside
yes.
from Pettah Effect.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So Theewra came on board to do all the video and
The videos. Okay. Cool.
the photography, building the brand side of things. Then Red Bull became great support. I should mention Inura. I took the proposal. Gamit and I took the proposal to him. He looked at it and said, "It looks like a good idea, but not sure. But I'll go with my gut and I'll invest some money with you guys." So as a brand, Red Bull was the first to say, "Let's take a risk with you guys."
Right.
I think that gave us a good how do I say this? Good push.
Yeah.
And we are still working with them and really supportive and really great guys to work with. So.
That's great. Now, coming from a person who has pretty much been through it all, failed before you succeeded, and so on and so forth, what would you say is your definition of success?
Oh, wow. I wouldn't know, to be honest. I don't consider myself successful, but I think getting to do something that you love doing is success. Because I'm not speaking for myself here. I'm speaking for the artists of Pettah Effect as well. The mere fact that people who are in Pettah Effect gets to do this, gets to do what they love doing, and there is a bit of support from parents. That is, I think, is success for them. I mean, imagine all the people who don't get that exposure or the push to do that. So
Yeah,
I think,
times have changed for sure compared to before and the previous years as well. So Dilan, how's your first office like?
well, it was a dump. Just a room for 3 people in Vallavatta. Was my first office.
Okay.
We did a good lot of things from there. I don't think the office matters in my line of work or in Pettah Effects or Theewra's.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a fancy office, but if your work's not quality or good enough, I don't think you're going to survive.
That's true. Nowadays, it's so much more easier because we have wonderful places like this, the Colombo Cooperative, who is pretty much providing modern workspaces and, of course, for companies of all sizes, right? And they have a question for you, okay? So they want to know what your number one value in business and in life is.
Number one value in my life plus my business is integrity. You know, you can be a lot of things, but if you don't have integrity, I don't believe, you're worthless basically.
And in business?
Both.
Same.
So so we have four values in Theewra as well as in Pettah effect. Number one is integrity.
Okay.
Number two is no excuses.
No excuses. That's a good one. That's a really good one. So if you weren't doing what you're doing right now here today, is there anything else that you'd be doing or working on?
I know what. I'm gonna be a poker player.
A poker player?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if it wasn't for Pettah effect and Theewra, you're gonna be a poker player.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, you can always do that too.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm not as good yet.
Okay, so now since the show is called The Founder, is there a founder that you like in particular or you admire? And if you ever got a chance to sit with them for dinner, who would it be, locally or internationally?
I think locally, it would be an honor if I got the chance to dine with Mr. Pettah.
Okay.
I think he's a great businessman, and there'll be a lot to learn. Internationally, I'm a big fan of Gary.
Okay.
I'm following his content online as well. I think, yeah.
Awesome. And of course, the final question I want to ask you is, now that you've pretty much pursued a passion of yours, there's a lot of people out there, especially here in Sri Lanka, that actually want to start up something that they want to be passionate about, but really doesn't really get started until later on. Sometimes it's just an idea and it doesn't really go on from there on. What's a piece of advice that you would give young entrepreneurs?
Okay,
today?
so this is something I recently heard from one of my clients.
Okay.
Which made a lot of sense with my life. Banuras, Shenali, three of us who are struggling with hustling with the two businesses. He said the lack of resources is not an excuse for underperformance, which made great sense.
Yeah,
I think for all the youngsters is also you'll be thinking, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have people. It's not an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's never going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean if you just need to think beyond that excuse and find a way. I think that's what it is, because all three of us who are in Theewra and now Pettah effect are not coming from rich backgrounds. Our parents didn't give us money to invest.
Yeah.
So I guess we found a way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
On behalf of the founder, we wish you all the very best of luck
so much.
for Theewra and Pettah effect. And maybe I could have a Korean singing too if I join you guys.
That's not my decision. There is an evaluation team. Yeah, but yeah, why not?
I was just kidding. Thank you so much, Dilanjan, for joining us. And I'll see you next time on The Founder.